You don't need a divorce to reclaim your identity.
No.
Actually, a lot of women I work with are about to divorce because like I've had it. I am on my way out and I just like, okay, let's put the brakes on and let's work on yourself. And then when you have a lot more clarity, because again, it's from reaction a lot of times of what's not there, who they're not being.
Hey everyone, I'm Angeline Constantinou, and this is Her Unapologetic Voice. This podcast was created for women who lead, but are done leading from apology. Here we have real, unfiltered conversations about boundaries, truth, and confidence. The kind of talks that remind you your voice is not something you find once, it's something you build. Every episode will give you something real to take with you, whether it's a boundary script, a reflection tool, or simply the courage to say what you really mean. So if you're ready to lead from your truth, not from approval, this is your space. Your unapologetic voice starts here. Welcome back to Her Unapologetic Voice podcast. And today's conversation, cannot wait to bring Joyce Ayers on. We had the pleasure of meeting in Austin, Texas 2 weekends ago. And today we're going to be talking about why self-abandonment in marriage feels lonely and how to heal and reclaim yourself after divorce. And it's something so many high-capacity women quietly carry. I'm joined by my friend Joyce Ayers. She is a heart-centered divorce mentor who once believed she had to do everything on her own. She was strong, independent, reliable, the woman everyone leaned on. But behind that strength was self-abandonment, resentment, and loneliness inside her marriage. After her divorce, Joyce discovered something radical, that real strength isn't doing it all alone. Real strength is allowing support, listening to your feminine wisdom, and reclaiming your voice. And Joyce recently joined me at the Real and Raw Liberation in Austin, Texas, and I cannot wait for you to hear what shifted for her. So without further ado, Joyce, welcome to Her Unapologetic Voice.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here, Angeline. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's so great to have you here on my show today. And what is the time now where you are live streaming from?
I'm Central time zone in Texas, so it's 2:44.
2:44. Okay, 2:44. That's, boy, the power of social media, right? So being able to connect all over the country and in the world. If you're watching this live, please hashtag live and please let us know where you are live streaming from. And if you are going to be watching the replay, please hashtag replay. So let's talk about the strong woman who felt alone. Please share your story. When did you first realize you were abandoning yourself?
It was probably early on. I was in a 25-year marriage and we were together for 30 years in total. And I just feel like I was alone. I guess probably with my first child, we were going to be a team. And I was so excited because I had pretty much raised myself from 17 years old onward, living on my own. And I became very independent and not needing anyone or trusting anyone to lean on because, I had a dad who didn't show up for me and different things. So I was like, finally, there's this person in my life that loves me and cares about me and we're a team. And this is amazing. And so I had our first child, but he would be gone for 2 weeks at a time and with a newborn. And we lived in a different country. I'm from Canada. So we're starting our life in Oklahoma City, was where my first place I lived in the United States from Toronto. So it was quite a difference. And I just remember I'm alone. There's no one here. There's no family to call and the neighbors were new. And here I am with this little baby and my parents weren't alive. So it's not like I could call them. I didn't have siblings. I had a brother. So that lonely feeling. You do what you need to do, right? You pull up your bootstraps and you forge ahead. This is what life is like. And this is what I signed up. And I knew this was what I was getting into. And I can make this work. I'm going to make this work. Just like I made everything else work and accomplished in life. We're leaders.
Right. We're leaders. Absolutely. And what does self-abandonment look like in a marriage? And what did that look like for you as well?
One of the things that I self-abandoned on was starting the family. I went back to school. And so I put that on hold. Because it's like I was sitting at my desk, I had my textbook open, the baby on my lap, and the baby's tapping the textbook, and I'm like, this isn't working. This is not going to work. So it's like, okay, just shelve my education for a while, and probably when the kids go back to school, like, and then I can go back. But then other things happen, like we started a business, and so, well, I guess I better support the business because that's our livelihood. I'll shelve my education again or whatever. So it was the self-abandoning was the kids and then the work. And then we moved multiple times. There was always something else more important that needed my attention and became a priority. And so I just at one after another and another is just less of me. And, you know, most people know where that goes. I ended up in resentment because I wasn't getting thanked or appreciated.
That's true.
Mom and all the sacrifices that I made that I kept silent because I wasn't going to like, I did this for you. And it's like, nope, I was raised like you do what you need to do to move ahead in life. And so, yeah, I just became really resentful and a lot of self-abandonment. And then I turned to him and he's the problem, right?
Right. And how long were you married?
25 years.
25 years. Okay.
But yeah, it's the choices that I made were mine. And it's the perspective that I brought to it that made it a problem.
I see. And can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, at the time, it was not that way. I gave up this, I gave up that. And then over time, it's like, well, I guess I just won't go back to school. And eventually through the divorce and the process that I went through, it wasn't just like, okay, I'll get divorced, but I actually went through an actual process. And it helped me to see how I self-abandoned, how I put the responsibility on him for how unhappy I was. Instead of just like created this life. It's not like he said, you can't go to school and you can't do this and you can't do that. I did all the things I wanted to do. There was no restrictions on me whatsoever. But this label that I put on myself, this identity I had that had it doesn't work, ladies, long term.
No, it doesn't work long term. And you can take it from me because it doesn't work long term because I had dreams too. I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to get my degree and I did work in corporate America, but like self-abandonment, I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't have any children, but it was like, you feel like you're carrying everything alone.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I totally felt alone. And later on, like as towards the end of the relationship, I remember that the girls, I had 3 girls, and they were all doing their thing, going to school, and the husband was off working or doing whatever. Here I was in this, finally got our dream home kind of thing and enjoying that, but no one to enjoy it with. It's like, here I am, I have a family, all these things, I could have anything I want, do whatever I want, and I never felt more alone. And just the depth of the sadness of that at the time. And if I could just like, I'm even hanging my head because I viscerally feel it. It's just like, like,
oh my gosh.
Okay. And then kind of shuffle through the day, and then, hey, you're home. Yeah. So what?
You're like, totally.
Yeah. Like there wasn't much to life. Right. And yeah, it's not the way to grow a relationship. It's not a way for any of us, for me to grow. And it wasn't until my youngest of the 3, she got her driver's license, and all the girls always had not their own car. They had the hand-me-down car.
Okay, the hand-me-down. I like it. That's
a brand new car. Like brand new driver, you are not getting a brand new car. You can have the hand-me-down one from the other girls or whatever. So when she started being able to drive herself around, it was like, oh, what do I do? I don't have kids to take care of, and I'm not the carpool mom anymore, and I'm not volunteering anymore in the community and church. And what do I do with myself? What do I want to do?
Right, what do you want to
do? And again, like all my priorities had been for everyone else in the marriage and the family. And now it was my turn, but I had such a blank, like void, what to do with that. Like I knew how to take care of that person. I knew what to do there. I realized over time, like I actually acquired quite a few skills with all the different roles that I played, either for nonprofits or our own company business. I was like, well, I guess I have a lot to do, but none of them really gave me any spark. Like, it's like, yeah, I know how to do bookkeeping, and yeah, I know how to organize this, and I know how to but it was kind of this lifeless stuff. It's like, I want something that's going to, like, I want to wake up to in the morning.
Right. You want to wake up like they say, your passion should wake you up like early in the morning. and you weren't feeling the fire within you.
Yeah.
You weren't feeling. And how long did that last? How long did that go on?
I think I was like the fall, because my daughter turned 16. She got her driver's license in October. And I think I took about 5 months to like, what am I going to do with my life? What do I want to do? It was you were talking about this loneliness in marriage, and then now healing that self-abandonment and the sacrifices and the people pleasing. And how do I heal that? How do I kind of reclaim my life? I haven't had, like, I had a life through my kids and everything, but how do I reclaim a life for myself?
Exactly.
And what do I like to do? What could I do? Well, I'm into health. I have a lot of cookbooks. I read about nutrition all the time. Since my girls were born, I studied the humanness of us and, why we do what we do and how we're wired. And so my girls, I guess, my youngest was 16. So my oldest was almost 20. So for like 20 years, I've been actually, even when I was in university, I took psychology classes. And so that was for like 30 years, I've been studying how our body works and how our mind works,
right?
and nutrition and fitness and health. And well, maybe I should like go look at something to do with that stuff.
There you go.
It was such a part of who I was. I didn't consider it as something that I was passionate about and to pursue as my next thing. Kind of reclaiming this part of myself. It's like, it's right in front of me, and it's a gift because I was passionate about it and knew a lot. It's like, well, maybe I could do something with this.
Sure. God has given us special gifts.
Yeah.
And what I want to ask is, what happens when a woman disconnects from her feminine wisdom? What happens?
I would say for me and my clients, it's like we just function on autopilot.
Right.
And reactivity. It's who's feeling what, who needs what, who do I need to be, what do I need to do to take care of them so that I can feel okay. And so I sort of like, okay, here's this cutoff point, and we just function from here. And we disregard everything from like the shoulders down, basically, our heart and our gut and everything. We dismiss it all, we shut it off, and we're just in the thinking mind. We're in that, like, just do, react.
Right.
Like the feminine is just slow down. I can't slow down. There's so much to do. There's so much.
Right.
I didn't know how to do that anymore. I was
me too.
Tiring. So it's like, okay, how do I do me?
Right. Exactly. How do I do me? Right.
How do I do this? How do I do this life of mine?
Pouring into yourself. And I always talk about self-love. Yeah. Pouring into you, because if you're not pouring into yourself, how can you take care of your spouse or your family, or loved ones?
Take care of them on empty.
Right. You're taking care of them on empty, basically. Right. Exactly. So what are signs that someone is disconnecting from herself? What are the signs, and how do you recognize those signs?
I think one of them, the one is like saying yes to everything.
Okay.
Okay, you need me right now. Okay, I'll drop what I'm doing. So that's a real disconnect from ourselves. Like, you can talk about boundaries in that, but as soon as we say yes, it's like, well, maybe we do want to do it, but we're so burnt out. We've already got a lot on our plate that we really don't have the capacity. But it comes out without even giving much thought. And then we got to figure out how to make it work.
There you go.
So the stress is constant. That's the important thing. It's like, obviously we're not wired. We're not created to be in a constant state of stress. But when we're self-abandoning and saying yes to everything, we're not kind of looking at the whole picture. Like, what do I need? Do I really want to do that? Do I have the capacity for that? Do I feel like I'm expected to do that?
Exactly.
People pleasing. Well, I don't want to disappoint someone, or I don't want to let them down, or, well, I'm going to need something from them later, so I better say yes. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. I know I have time. I know I want to do it. And I would be glad to give my time to you and whatever I can support. So rather than that, we're just like, what do I need? We call it a much lower vibration.
Right.
It's dark and it's heavy, rather than way up here, the higher vibration. It's light, energizes us.
Sure, absolutely. And we saw that at Real and Raw Liberation 2 weeks ago in Texas.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Wasn't that amazing? What was your biggest takeaway there? I would love to know. That's the first time we all met, by the way.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago. What you're about, Our Unapologetic Voice, is we have something to say. And that we're passionate about, that's important to us, one way or another. And we don't need to go into explanation. We don't need to go into justifying it. Just it's a yes or it's a no. And this is what I feel. This is what I need. You have to show up for me or you don't. Like it's just that authority. That's what I took away. It's like we are the authors, the authority, the autonomous beings of our life. And then we can invite people into our life. Who we choose to invite into our life.
Right.
Yeah. It's
So
all
it's about feminine embodiment. How do you define the embodiment?
Oh gosh, I did like a 2-year training on embodiment, and
Wow. Oh,
because I was anything but embodied,
Okay.
connected from myself. Like I said, I would just on autopilot. I would get up in the morning. What do I have to do? And then crash at the end of the night.
Crash again at night, right?
So after becoming a coach and the coaching training that I went through really touched on embodiment. Like, what does that feel like? What do you mean? What does it feel like?
Right.
It's so foreign to me, like to have like even a vocabulary, emotional intelligence. I didn't even have a vocabulary other than I'm happy or sad, I'm angry, like I'm frustrated. It was so limited. So embodiment gave me an ability to connect with a part of myself without having to have that vocabulary. Because I can just say, okay, well, what do I need? And then it would be like rest. It was like an instant answer. And then I can either listen or I can ignore it. I could do something about it, or I can make a plan for it. So this embodiment training taught me in many different ways how to access my inner intuition, my wisdom, build trust, to how to move forward. Like there's a pose. You put your hands like this, like this, and you point forward. But you're not looking kind of right here. You're looking like way out there. This is where I'm going.
Oh, this is where I'm going. Yeah, I like that.
And it's like, but if you're like leaning forward, it's almost like, I got to get there. I got to get there. If you're leaning back, it's like, no, I don't know where I'm going. So the body will actually respond in a way that reflects how we feel about ourselves, what's possible. This is where alignment and manifestation come in, because we can want things and we can say all the affirmations and visualize and everything. But if there's a part of our body that just says no, or yes, then we're not tuning in. So this embodiment practice has been really powerful in self-love, to actually feel self-love, to honor myself, to feel powerful like a warrior, to soften in and let go and surrender. And it's like, I didn't have to read a book and I didn't need to listen to this or that. It's just, I do this pose and I'm surrendering. Think of a forward fold in yoga. Yeah, it's a forward fold. You feel the strain in the back of your legs, your low back. Oh, my low back, It's almost like a waterfall. What are you letting go of? Like, just let it fall off your back. Let it fall off your shoulders. Let your hair hang, and then soften into it. Because we can probably be like really stiff trying to do it. But how can we soften into it? And there's like a whole thing about embodiment. It's not a common word or concept yet. Even though I did it like 10 years ago, it still isn't a common concept to, what is it? What do you mean embodiment? It's actually to be present and aware and awake of what you're experiencing, what you're choosing. Our thoughts are so powerful. And I had those thoughts. He's making me so unhappy. Really? What's he done that's made me so unhappy?
Right, exactly. And I witnessed that weekend. So how about yourself? What did you witness in yourself during that weekend?
Yeah, it's like this unfolding of freedom. And you could see all the women just being more playful and engaging in being silly and interacting or dancing, or there's a photographer there. And people who I don't like my picture taken, like you're like, okay, me.
We got our pictures taken. We had videography. I mean, it was just beautiful. Beautiful.
Women, we wanted to be seen. We were showing up in our power. It was so transformational. And whether it's a retreat that we go to or the ones that we're putting on for women, it's this space where we're held, where we can just let go of whatever it is that we're holding on to or we need to do, whether it's our businesses or our families or identities. Like we talk about divorce, like we're a mom, we're a wife. Now the kids are gone. Now we're not married anymore. And so like, well, then who are we? These identities. And so that weekend was that space to like, come home, like, or wake up to something that was like asleep.
Exactly. Because that part of our lives was asleep, because the woman who's probably a mom is taking care of the kids. She's doing this and she's doing that. she's a mom, but then after her divorce, who am I, right? Who am I? So that's where identity comes in. And that's where we all come in to help and empower women to reclaim their identity.
Get a divorce to reclaim your identity.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And actually, a lot of women I work with are about to divorce because, like, I've had it. I am on my way out, and I just like, okay, let's put the brakes on, and let's work on like on yourself.
Right.
And then when you have a lot more clarity, because again, it's from reaction a lot of times of what's not there, who they're not being. Let's just put the brakes on and regroup, and then from clarity, from really knowing, like, this is what I really want. And as we come into our power and we start using our voice, then the dynamic of the relationship usually changes one way or another. Either you know you really want to go, or, well, actually, this is actually changing the relationship and the dynamic of our interaction and our communication and our things. And he's actually showing up. Well, go figure. Or he is not showing up still. And I know for sure that this is what I want. But to walk out that door with complete clarity and confidence, this is the life I want to create. Because it's not available inside this container.
There you go. And how does a woman reclaim her voice after years of silence? Meaning she's been silenced for a long time. So how does she?
Yeah, the divorce doesn't do it. It actually takes the pressure off. But and this is all from my own experience, as well as working with my clients, is that we come in with patterns, with expectations, with beliefs about life, relationships, ourselves. And this could be like, I don't matter, or I can never get what I want, or I have to create whatever in order for him to listen. When you're not in that relationship anymore, now you have the space that you're not just reacting. We can actually like calm the nervous system down first, because got to take care of that first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Regulating the nervous system.
Bring it down, really ground, just really have some self-awareness. And then from there, we're more open to looking at ourselves for what was in that relationship and what really wasn't us.
Okay.
We had to show up a certain way in that relationship for whatever reason it was. And now it's no longer there as the excuse for what we're doing or how we're being or what we feel we can have or can't have. So we need to clear out those patterns, kind of rewire the programming, unplug, replug, reboot.
There you go.
And then from there, like now it's like we have a different perspective of ourselves, our lives, our identity. Like it's, and then the embodiment. We take on a different state of being. We start attracting different things, especially as entrepreneurs. It's like, yeah, the business wasn't going so well in that relationship, but well, now that I've been doing this work on myself, it's like I'm getting clients and I'm getting support and I'm building community. Like all these things are happening, but they haven't been doing anything much different. It's the energy that we're showing up in.
There you go. Yeah. I love that. And what does empowered choice look like?
I'm trying to think of Covey on the TED Talk.
Yeah, I think so.
The superwoman, she's got her hands on her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Spread a little wide. She's got her hand like so. Power pose, right? So that can be one. But the power pose, if you're doing it as a defensive, you will send off the vibes like, "Don't mess with me." But if you're doing the power pose from like, "I know who I am. I trust myself," then you actually attract people. So that like her power pose is pretty famous. There's a yoga pose, Warrior 2, when you stretch your arms out.
Oh yeah, I do that.
You can actually do it sitting down. And like all I'm doing, I'm just turning myself sideways. One leg is off to the side and the other leg is forward. And then so this, you can do it in your seat, like before you get on a podcast or something like this.
Right.
So you can use your voice. Like there's a number of power poses you can embody. And by practicing them, you can actually shift the energy and your state, being more playful. Like say, I'm so nervous coming on here. And you can do the Joker pose. And that's like, you get silly and it's Warrior 3, but you don't try to get it. You're like an airplane standing on one leg and you're supposed to be perfectly balanced in Warrior 3. But in the Joker pose, you're intentionally wobbling yourself and then you're going to tip, but then you laugh at yourself. So you're able to laugh at yourself because you're not going to get it perfect, but we're always trying to get it perfect. So all of these different embodiment ways that we can change our state, change our energy, change our perspective to start moving towards what we want to create. And from there, like, it's almost like it kind of births out of us, because our voice is going to like hold it if we don't feel safe. Down in our belly, the nervous system is contracting and or relaxing. So if we're real tight in the abdominal area and clenching your seat muscles,
Oh, yeah.
expect your voice to be powerful and soft and feminine and playful.
Right.
If the lower part of your body is like trying to protect itself.
Exactly.
Chakras and all that, but
No, I love that. And because I do sound healing meditation, and we did a sound healing meditation, and that's when you were there on Saturday.
Yeah.
What did that feel like for you with all the tones, the everything? It was so
it's beautiful. Yeah, it's like this beautiful essence washing over you at first. And then, and again, like the nervous system, like we're all excited to be there and blah, blah, blah. So this just slowly just softens us. And then think of a feather just kind of floats down, and then it can finally rest. And then in that place of rest, yoga nidra is like this. And I lead yoga nidras. We take up here and then we go deeper and we go deeper and we go deeper. And then when you hear the gong, it's not like it jolts you awake. It's almost like it vibrates through your body, and it's this soothing wave of coming in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, think about, I don't know, being on a swing or a hammock or something, and the breeze is blowing you with the palm trees above.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Oh,
And then this like waves coming in and out. So sun baths are beautiful. They have different frequencies. And there's a lot of studies that are done on the frequencies of each of our organs. It has its own frequency, and all the other organs and different tissue and stuff. So when you do the sound bowls, even with the chakras, it's not just the thing you hear. Actually, is tuning and what do you call it? Music people will know this. In harmony, the connection with the sound, with the organ vibration. The frequencies, and then it kind of stimulates it for a healthier way of being. That's sound baths can be really healthy.
Sure, absolutely. I know.
Of course, yeah.
And I remember, like, when we first started, I had my sunglasses on, but we looked at the sun. Remember when we did that first? That was like you feel the warmth of the sun.
Yeah, it's not. I was just thinking of the Texas sun in the middle of the summer. No.
Oh, yeah.
no, we don't want to do that in the middle of July.
No, you don't want to do that in the middle of July. It was such a beautiful morning.
Oh, yeah, it was gorgeous. It was like the weather temperature was beautiful, and the sun was just this beautiful, warmth on the skin. It was very welcoming. Yeah, some people do just sun gazing at sunrise. And it's supposed to be really therapeutic and healing, and tends to be really bright. Some people look like you can look through the sun, like your eyes like this, or if you look through a tree, like the tree branches will filter it, but you still get the same effect. I was on a retreat and we did that, and it's like, this is kind of weird, but we were there like half an hour, and it felt like I only was standing there for 5 minutes, because I'm like, you expect us to stand here for 30 minutes? Are you crazy? And it really felt like it was only 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's something to this, because it was so calming of just being still.
Sure.
Not having to do anything. I just came back from Big Bend in the west part of Texas.
You told me, yeah.
And this is a perfect time of year. I don't know about going any time after this, because it could get warm in the afternoon, but the silence, it was just so silent there. And then at night, the stars were incredible. Just vast amount of stars. And again, it's like you're just this connection with the heavens and the earth.
Right.
And our soul, because it just kind of meets us where we're at.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if we all have a practice like that, just meet us where we're at, wherever that is, like in life.
Exactly.
Or going through another life event, or it could be during a divorce, or even 10 years after divorce. Our body holds on to every experience we've had until we give it permission to release.
Right. Exactly. Very powerful. How do we move from survival identity to embodied identity for a woman? How do we move from that?
Survival is kind of that, what do I need to be paying attention to? What do I have to be looking out for? It's like, unless someone is obviously in a situation where they do need to be looking out for their own survival and safety, yes, that's one thing. This is like just kind of two human beings just being people. How do you go from survival? It's like, well, what stories are we telling ourselves about that person? Usually it's about that person. And then it's a reflection of, well, I have to be this. I have to do that. I can't do this or that. This is so much like when I ask women, okay, I'm really clear on what you don't want.
Right, exactly.
It's like, no, they say, well, he's this, he's that, blah, 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 blah. And it's all out here. But it's like, okay, hang on. What do you want? Well, I don't want him to do that anymore. No, but what do you want? And
right. What do you want? Exactly.
Like silence most of the time. It's like they've put so much energy into what the problem is that is outside of themselves that they can't fix.
Right.
You've asked him to fix the toilet like for 3 years and it's still whatever, right? Or you want him to help with the kids, with make dinner, like whatever it is, right? It's not happening. You can't make somebody else do that. Can you coerce them? Can you get angry? And then finally, I have to get so mad that he'll do something. It's like, but it's outside of ourselves. But when we take responsibility for ourselves and what we can control, then it can shift.
There you go.
So we're no longer, surviving is about, well, I'll just like in a simplest form, like it's so broad, but it's not about expecting something of somebody else for what we need. What do I need? How can I take care of it? What can I do? Who can I ask for support that can help me with this?
Sure.
Yeah. And then now we take back our power. We use our voice. We understand what it is we're experiencing, because the experience is no longer out there. We're identifying it, what's in here.
Exactly.
Now we're embodying our own life. Like we're actually experiencing life on a very different level.
Exactly.
If the focus is out here, then we're ignoring what's going on in here. A little tap on the shoulder. Hey, like you could be doing this, like the intuition, the gut instinct, what our heart is telling us. But when the focus is out here, we silence that.
There you go.
When we turn it inward, whether you stay in the relationship or you don't, it's called the reticular activation system.
Right.
Well, I get every red light. I can never find a parking spot. I always have to park way. Of course. What are you going to get more of?
You're going to get more of that. Right. Right. Because what we speak, our realities, our lives into existence. So it's important to speak positivity and what you want in life, or, what you want and what you desire in life. Because if you just keep telling yourself, like you said, I'm never going to find that parking spot, that's exactly what's going to happen.
I was with somebody, I was driving, and we were, I don't know, it was like getting close to a holiday, and we were in a grocery store parking lot. And I'm like, okay, we're going to have lines, it's going to be busy. And they're like, oh, look at all the people. We're never going to find a spot. We're going to have to drive way over there. And I'm just like, hey, we'll just go up and down a couple lanes and something will open up. And so I went down this next lane, and it was like 4 cars in, and there was a spot. And that never happens to me. And I'm like, just stay quiet, because it's like, I didn't have any attachment. And we talk about attachment. It's actually a yoga concept, because I'm a yoga instructor too. I'm a teacher. So I really learned a lot through like living life in different ways.
That's
not
good.
being attached. And so not being attached to, so what? I have to park at the end of the road. So what? I'll just, I can stretch my legs a little bit. And it's not a good or a bad, a right or wrong. It's perfect. It's like that. It is what it is. And you just go about whatever you do next.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah. He didn't pick up his stuff off the floor. He didn't put the dishes in the dishwasher, even though you've been together 20 years and he still hasn't put it. Like, what do you do with that, right?
Exactly.
All of a sudden you're going to just say something magic word and he's going to put the dishes in the dishwasher. But depending on how you shift, and like I'm talking from experience, depending on how I show up, and I'm like, well, thank you for rinsing your cup, even though it's in the sink, right? It's like that's the reticular activation. Like, notice just anything. Like when the relationship is like, just notice anything about this person. It's
right,
like, exactly. Really good. You shaved, right? And you could like really be on bad terms, and you're like, I despise this person. This isn't about the person. This isn't about making good with him. This is about just honoring your, like, what would you say to a normal human being?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I noticed you shaved. You look really good. And he'll be like, who is this person? It's like, I rinsed my cup, no big deal. But she actually said something. She's not being about the dishes again. It's like, oh, and then he starts to relax. And then you start to relax. And just think about your kids. Like, you've got teenage kids, but it's like herding cats. And I had 3 girls, 3 teenage daughters at the same time. how am I going to view this situation?
Right.
Where is it? Yeah, this line right here. That's from my kids' teenage years. It's like, I never had this line before. It's like,
Oh
that
my
was from the
gosh.
teenager.
Funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, before we close, if a woman listening right now feels exhausted from carrying everything alone, what would you tell her?
I'm just like, go take a bath, go get a facial, go get a foot massage,
Good.
go do something for yourself, even though life is like swirling around. Just go do something for even take a walk. It's breaking state. It's like taking yourself out of that moment of overwhelm and everything piling in on you. Just kind of clear a little more bandwidth to be able to see the situation a little differently, feel a little differently about ourselves in it. Again, we can't do anything about other people, but we can
Right.
choose what we do in that moment for ourselves.
There you go. I love that. And final question, where can people reach you? Because you have your website and then you have a create your future roadmap. So please share that with us today.
Yeah, the website, you can get more information about me and different things that I offer, programs and whatnot. Yeah, thank you at createyourlifeafterdivorce.com. And there's another link I think I gave you. It's Create Your Future. And so I touched on this earlier that we have a pretty good clear idea of what we don't want and all the things we don't want and how we don't want to feel it. But unless we have, say all those things go away because you divorce, now you have this big openness of like, well, what's next? And if you don't fill it with what you want,
right,
you don't have that pathway forward. Like what road am I going to turn down? Which is the right road for you? This is something you can take yourself through. And if you want my support to actually go deeper in it, then we can really dive into that. But this is like what's important to you about your life right now, or what it is if you're not in a relationship, what's important about this time, this pause in your life, and who you're becoming. What are you reclaiming? Well, I don't know what I'm reclaiming. Okay, well, how do you know how to move forward if you don't have something? So this roadmap is like you taking that first step into the unknown, into the uncomfortable. And this, what I'm offering here is just take yourself through it. It's like a little wake up and then get with me and
there you go.
Through the website, get with me. Let's really unpack this. And I spend like 2 hours with someone really diving into what opened up with this roadmap, the Empowered Future program.
I love it.
So it's all about giving ourselves our voice back. So we can have our voice, but unless we're speaking with that, knowing what it is we want and what resonates for us and what we feel we can have. Because again, the alignment has to be there. It's like, this is what I want. This is what I believe I can have. And this is how I'm going to go about getting it. Because we put limits. It's upper limits. It's a book called The Big Leap.
Right.
We are here and this is our comfort zone. And then we have a little range, above and below it. And then if we go a little too high above it, we come back down. But if we go too low, we'll come back up. And that's where that comfort zone is that we stay in. Because there's a lot of risk in the unknown, right? It's uncomfortable. And so this roadmap is really helpful to start getting in on that. Even you've been doing it all yourself, but it's been maybe based on that other person, but not necessarily just you.
Right, exactly.
Like what you say yes to, what you say no, how you spend your time, the friends you have. It's like, well, I've been friends with her for 20 years. It's like, yeah, but you're exhausted after you talk to her. Is she really giving anything back? Well, no, but she's blah, blah, blah. Really? Really? Do we want all your friends to be like that? Or do you just like, I wish you well? Like, what are you doing about that?
Right, there you go.
So anyways, the roadmap will set the course ahead, help you take one step after another because you know where you're going. Like it gives you that idea. It gives you that clarity and the confidence and identity. Like this is a new identity you're stepping into after a relationship, or maybe you left your corporate job and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and start my own business or partner with someone, right? Empty nesters. It's all the same thing. It's like, what's next?
What's next for me now? Like I left corporate America, but it was a year and a half ago. I finally said that was it. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Because at that time I had another mentor, mapped out what I was going to do, and things shift. You're always going to tweak things, but I love what you're offering because like after like empty nesters, I'm glad you brought that out. This is perfect because now what do? The kids are gone. They get married. life goes on. So what do we do?
Yeah. Have a roadmap. It's a plan. It's a plan for what's next. And it can be just the next 2 months. It can be the next
There you
year,
go.
5 years. It's like, I have to know what my whole life is going to be like for 5 years from now. It's like, no. Maybe the next two.
No. They get scared when they hear that, because I got a job interview. They say, what does your life look like in 5 years? You're like, okay.
Yeah. Are you saying I can have your job?
Yeah. I like that.
Are you leaving? Can I take your job?
I'm actually going to be leaving. No.
Yeah. So create the future that you want. And when I divorced, and it's like, wow, like I'm not responsible for anyone else. My kids are grown. I don't have to be responsible for my husband's feelings or emotional state or whatever. I don't have to be something. But what can I be now? I can create anything I want. And sometimes it's just so big that we just like, just to start somewhere. And if we're already doing something, it's like, well, the wheel of life, right? You have your work. Just like, okay, let's balance it now with what's supporting you with your business. Maybe your business has been stagnant and you don't know why. And okay, let's shift these other areas, put energy into those so that your business can now thrive. Yeah, but I need to focus on my business. You can come at it from the back door.
Right, there you go.
So a lot of times it starts in here with what we're trying to create out there. Well, actually it does start in here, not sometimes. It starts in here, what we create out there, because that's how we're showing up. That's what we expect. Exactly. That's where we're driving momentum towards.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. And thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So everyone, you can go to createyourlifeafterdivorce.com. All the links will be in the show notes, and it's /create-your-future. So this is your future roadmap, and Joyce will help you do that. And also please go to her website at createyourlifeafterdivorce.com. And like I said, the links will all be in the show notes, but they're right here live on Facebook. So I want to thank you for this powerful conversation, Joyce, because today's conversation reminds us of something powerful. Strength does not mean self-sacrifice. If you've been the strong one, the independent one, the one who holds it all together while silently unraveling, this is your permission to stop abandoning yourself. You don't have to do this alone. So you were never meant to do life alone. Okay. So Joyce, thank you for reminding us that divorce isn't just an ending. It is an awakening. And to every woman listening, your voice matters. Your needs matter. And your healing is not selfish. It is sacred. So this is Her Unapologetic Voice podcast. Thank you for the people who tuned in live. And if you are watching the replay here, please #replay. And this live will be on Spotify and Apple and on my YouTube channel. So please go to Unapologetic Voice Podcast. You can type that in on Spotify and you will see me appear. Plus follow us on IG at Unapologetic Voices. So everyone have a beautiful day. Have a great day, everyone. Have a beautiful day. And thank you so much, Joyce. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Her Unapologetic Voice. Every conversation here is meant to help you build confidence from the inside out and find strength in your own words. If today's message resonated, follow the show and share it with a friend who's ready to lead from who she truly is. You can also connect with me on social media at Her Unapologetic Voice Podcast for updates and behind the scenes insights. Remember, confidence begins when you stop apologizing for your truth and start speaking from it. I'm Angeline Constantinou, and I will see you in the next episode.